City Attorney's report, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor and Council, I just wanted to briefly go back to the residential rental property program, just in terms of when we were working on that ordinance, there was a lot of trepidation. You know, there was some hesitancy on the part of legal staff as to how it was going to work and how it was going to be executed. And at that time, the General Assembly was considering a bill that was basically prohibited the city from having this program. And that bill ultimately wound up not passing. But again, this past session, it was reintroduced again. And so that's something that, you know, as elected officials, you will have to be cognizant of and during your legislative agenda, because I think there's a chance for that bill to be reintroduced. I think people don't understand this program. I think that was evidenced by the public hearing we had before we adopted it. Some of the people who spoke, the concerns they haven't materialized. The program has worked just beyond expectations, I think. But again, misinformation could lead to that bill being reintroduced in Raleigh, and so we just need to be, you know, on guard about that. And that's all I had, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager's report, Mr. Munt.
Excuse me, Mayor, members of council, to talk a little bit more about the strategic plan meeting that we're having on Saturday. You have the notebook. Please look it over, see if there are some other mistakes that might be in the report. Notice that I did what the council suggested, which was put some times down. Now, those are suggested times, and of course, it's our meeting, and you're in control of your own meeting. Those are just suggestions, but that would take us forward through all of these particular items. One of the things to note is that if we want to change some of this, we can do that Saturday morning. There is a concern I think we all have is, can we really get through all of these items? Which items are more important than others to the City Council? If there's something particularly the City Council wants to get to, you want to make sure we get to it early as opposed to leaving it later. But it won't be the only time we meet. We could have it at a City Council meeting or later on during budget meetings. So please look this over, see if you have some suggestions or additional information that you would like to have. One of the items that we normally put at the end of all of these agendas is other, because there may be something that we haven't talked about at all that you think about that's important that we really need to address. And so please feel free to, you know, contact us, let us know, and we'll be glad to add it into the mix. And at the very beginning, while we're having breakfast at 8 o'clock, we can make whatever changes we'd like. I will also mention that at the economic development session 10:30, in terms of development opportunities, if there are specific development opportunities that you know, any of the City Council has, I think there's going to be one that maybe we will be highlighting, but there are many others that economic development opportunities that we can discuss to really put us where we want to be as a city, growing. More jobs, more economic development, more opportunity for our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, City Council reports. Ms. Craig.
Yes. I just want to thank the staff and everyone who was involved in the NET in North Scruggs Street area. I'm sure Councilman Pearsall will have more to say about that probably, but there was a meeting on January the 14th that we probably had 35, 40 residents there along with the staff. But I just want to commend the staff for doing a wonderful job in doing the research and the steps that are being taken for that to show some improvement. The other thing that I just wanted to mention is the staff and some of the Optimus Club members and myself had a very good meeting this morning in reference to Phase 2 of the Optimus Park, and the conceptual drawing basically was approved, so now we're going to get some final estimate numbers from the engineering department, but that looks like that's on go. And then we will also be having a campaign to raise money. But just information for everybody is we will have another brick solicitation also. The first part of the trail will start off with a brick commemorative area. So we're looking forward to that, and I'm sure that as time goes on, you'll hear a lot more about it. And that's my report.
Sure. Mr. Gary, Pearson.
Just to quickly reiterate what Councilwoman Craig said, I do want to thank staff, all of staff. I mean, we had utilities, we had code enforcement, police, fire. We had everyone there, and I certainly don't want to try to name everybody. I'd leave someone off. But it's a great start. I'm glad to see this program resurrected for this area. I know it will do a lot of good. It was a great meeting, and I just want to thank everybody for that. And that's really all I have for my report, sir.
Mr. Gallagher.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On Saturday, myself and Councilman Kimball were invited to the American Legion. They did a oratory contest for high school students. They were debating on the Constitution, which was excellent. It was the students got a chance to speak for 8 to 10 minutes on. It was going to either be freedom of speech, 1 or 4, the right for seizure, 13, slavery, the abolishment, and it also was talking about the 18th Amendment and 21st, which abolished the 18th Amendment for alcohol. But it was excellent. These students got up there and they just were able just to speak very well. The other thing is the winner of it all can earn $25,000 for it. So I just would like to see more students enter it next year. I'd like to see it be publicized a little bit better. The other thing is Saturday night I was at St. Stephen's AME Zion Church over here. I saw Sheriff Cloninger receive his humanitarian award from Gaston County Organization for the Community Concerns. And it was a celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. On Saturday night. It was excellent. Great time. Just want to give a shout out to Pastor Pierre Crawford, 15 years of service as pastor of Center Baptist Church. He and his family. Just want to say congratulations, sir. And Caramount opened up a Medi Center by Lowe's Foods over there off Gaston Road. It was excellent. I was there on a Friday night, and then on a Saturday night, I took my son in. The place closes at 8 o'clock, I found out. We got there at 7:45, and he got his medicines and for his cold, and doing fine. The last thing I want to mention is I ran into this gentleman regarding the Dream Center, Powerhouse Drumline shoe. The gentleman is going to try to get something up here on Elmo for him. His name is Donald Newby. He's starting a drum line, and he's going to do it up at the Dream Center and Erwin Center. The gentleman doesn't have any money, so what he's doing is he wants people to provide him with shoes. He's looking to get 1,000 shoes. They could be gently worn, or they could be brand new. And his number is here on the screen, which is 704-691-5192. You can call Donald, or you can email him. Or you can get the shoes to me. I will make sure that he gets them. He's going to be turning the 1,000 shoes over to an organization who's going to be taking them to the mission field. And he's going to be reimbursed the monies. So this is going to allow him to get drum equipment, drumsticks, drums, and all these things for these kids. He has a great vision. He's a young gentleman, and I just want to let people know about it. And I just want to say thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Curley.
2 quick things. As I was driving north on Cox Road this morning, as I was heading to the hospital, I saw all the appropriate road markings for the I-85 turning to head south. And I was given plenty of notice that I should get out of that lane immediately. But, you know, in all seriousness, hats off to Mr. Kimball, because I think he was the one that spearheaded that. And I really do think that will help. I think the markings were well done. They're very clear. If you're not on your cell phone or you're not daydreaming, you really should be able to see those, and I think it should help with some of that traffic. And in the same breath, I'll say that just passing through that area frequently, because it's near my home, I see the growing demand for us to work towards that off-ramp from I-85 heading in the northward direction onto Cox Road going south, and hoping that we can move forward with some ideas there implementing either additional lanes or early entrance into the Gaston Mall facility, because I just see that becoming more and more of an issue, especially times like on the weekends. The other thing is if you could, I'd ask you to just put it on your calendars for May 17th. There's going to be the Caramont Community Health Challenge. And this is a partnership between Caramont Health, actually the Gaston County Schools, through Gastonia East Rotary. And what it is, it's an opportunity for Caramont to try to encourage healthy lifestyles and living through the community through a walk, run, bike event that day. So it'll be May 17th. There's going to be a 5K walk or run, and then there's going to be about 4 different bike rides, anywhere from maybe around 21 to as many as 50 or 60 miles, that are going to be all in the southern Gaston County area that day. And again, the idea is to promote health. The idea is to raise funds actually for the Gaston County schools for their robotics program. And so the Rotary has gotten involved with this as a means by which to raise $15,000, and then Rotary International is matching that with another $15,000, which will be used for the robotics program in the middle schools. So May 17th, you'll hear more about that later on. Thank you.
Mr. Kimball?
Thank you, Your Honor. And several things. First off, have a dear friend, actually a Gaston County recycling employee, Mr. Pete Martin and his wife Barbara just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. And I just wanted to say congratulations to them. They're great folks, and they couldn't be prouder that they're out there. And they've been married 50 years. I believe he was 19 and she was 16, and they've just had a great life together, and I wanted to mention them. Secondly, Councilman Pearsall and I attended the second season grand opening of the show Banshee, which is a television program that's a lot of it is shot here in Gastonia, Gaston County, and down in Charlotte. And I had a great time. Some of the cast was there, and very informative. Lastly, congratulations to Angela Dreyer and Reverend Dr. Martin Hinton. Both of them were awarded the Gaston County Unity Awards, and also had a wonderful program from the NAACP honoring Dr. King. And one last bit of trivia for everyone tonight. Today is National Hug Day. So at some point today, let's give a special someone a hug and honor National Hug Day. That's all I have, sir.
I can see 2 that I would hug up here, but that's just about it. That pretty well does it. I also was asked to judge the American Legion, and I knew that you 2 were, and I told them that I wanted to personally thank you both for being there, for doing that. Time-wise, it was probably a little too long to sit, and I told Royce Robinson that. But I want to thank both of you for taking the time for that. I was going to mention that anyway. Mr. Munn, on the workshop, I think I did this last year. I remember somewhere in the back of my mind being the villain last year. It's important. It's the heart of our city and this council, this right here. And I want to conduct a meeting like everyone would like for one to be conducted. But I think certainly I would ask everyone certainly our in honor of our staff and us. I'm going to move it along, and we're not going to get hung up on one thing. we're going to move along. We're going to get out eventually, but that's and that's not that's to the staff and to us. So I just want you to know that I'm going to be doing that. Lastly, he is now the president of the Gaston Association of Realtors. Last meeting you were going to be, and you are. So you're the honcho, and congratulations to you, sir. Good, sir. Having said that, it's about looked like about 8 minutes till 8. Anything else for the good of the cause? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.